Have you ever wondered why, as people grow older, some start to lose friends, respect, and even the warmth of relationships they once enjoyed? It's a tough truth, but many seniors end up feeling disliked or avoided, even when they never intended to hurt anyone. In this video, we're going to explore 7 hidden reasons why people may secretly resent you as you age. And more importantly, we'll show you how to recognize these patterns and rebuild respect, connection, and even admiration. This isn't about judgment, it's about growth and wisdom. So stay with me until the very end, because these lessons could completely change how you see yourself and how others see you. Reason number 1, constant complaining. One of the main reasons people distance themselves from older adults is the habit of complaining all the time. When most conversations revolve around aches, pains, politics, or how the world used to be better, it creates a heavy atmosphere. Younger people especially, who are already carrying their own struggles, often pull back because they begin to associate your presence with negativity instead of warmth. Now, this doesn't mean your struggles don't matter. Sharing your hardships can actually bring connection if it's done with balance. But when the focus is always on what's wrong, it sends the message that you see little good in the present. And over time, this drains relationships, even with your closest family. Think about it. Have you ever avoided a friend who constantly complained about their job or health? The same thing can happen to you if others feel weighed down by your words. The good news? Complaining is just a habit, and habits can change. By shifting toward gratitude and appreciation, you can transform how people see you. A joyful memory shared with love, or a small blessing noticed today, can draw people closer instead of pushing them away. Reason number 2, refusing to listen. Another reason people quietly resent older adults is the refusal to truly listen. With age comes wisdom, but sometimes it also brings the habit of thinking we already know all the answers. Conversations then turn into one-sided lectures instead of two-way exchanges. When others feel dismissed, unheard, or unimportant, they slowly create distance. Listening isn't just about staying quiet while the other person talks, it's about showing real curiosity, asking questions, and making the other person feel valued. When you give people the gift of your attention, they remember you not as someone who lectures, but as someone who cares. When an older adult constantly interrupts, finishes someone's sentence, or quickly steers the conversation back to their own story, the silent message becomes clear: what I have to say is more important than what you want to share. Over time, this creates quiet resentment. Psychologically, this habit often comes from a deep place, the desire to hold on to dignity. The world changes so quickly, technology, culture, even the way younger generations talk. Many seniors feel left behind. Interrupting or talking over others becomes a defense mechanism, a way of saying, I still matter. I still have wisdom you need to hear. But instead of earning respect, it often leads to frustration and distance. Picture a family dinner. A younger relative is excitedly talking about their new job or relationship. But before they can finish, the response is, well, back in my day. The excitement instantly fades. That younger family member may stop sharing in the future, not because they don't love you, but because they don't feel heard. The truth is, listening deeply often earns more respect than speaking often. People are naturally drawn to those who make them feel understood. When you resist the urge to dominate the conversation and instead ask thoughtful questions, you create a space where others feel important. They walk away thinking, I enjoy being around them because they make me feel valued. If you're still watching this video and these insights are helping you, type number 2 in the comments below so I know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd love for you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell, so you don't miss future videos. Your support helps us keep creating meaningful content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move on. Reason number 3, being overly critical. Another reason people quietly pull away from older adults is the habit of being too critical. With age comes experience, and with experience comes perspective. But when that perspective turns into constant judgment, of how others live, dress, raise their kids, or spend their money, it no longer feels like wisdom. To others, it feels like condemnation. Younger relatives, neighbors, even lifelong friends may begin to dread interactions if every conversation carries a sting of disapproval. Criticism, even when intended as guidance, often lands as sharp edges that wound instead of build. Over time, those wounds pile up, and people start protecting themselves the only way they know how, by creating distance. On a deeper level, being overly critical often comes from disappointment. Many seniors look at today's world and feel it has lost its manners, values, or standards. Pointing out flaws becomes a way of holding on to what once felt right. But for the person on the receiving end, it sounds like rejection and constant disapproval. Think about it. How do you feel when someone always points out your mistakes? Do you feel closer to that person, or do you quietly begin to avoid them? That's exactly how children, grandchildren, and even close friends may react. What you see as honesty, they may hear as harshness. The truth is, everyone already carries their own doubts and insecurities. A kind word can ease that burden. But constant criticism only makes it heavier, pushing people away instead of drawing them near. When seniors shift from judgment to encouragement, something powerful happens. Relationships begin to transform. A simple compliment on someone's effort, a word of pride, or even a gentle acknowledgement of their struggles can make people feel respected and loved. Instead of pushing others away with criticism, you naturally draw them closer with understanding and compassion. Reason number 4, talking only about yourself. Another reason people may quietly resent older adults is the habit of making every conversation revolve around yourself. Stories about the past, health problems, or personal struggles can easily take over the dialogue, leaving no space for others to share. Of course, your experiences are valuable, but when they become the only focus, those around you may feel overlooked and disconnected. It often shows up in small ways. A friend might mention something about their work, and the response immediately turns into a long story from your past. A grandchild may open up about a challenge, but instead of exploring their feelings, the conversation shifts back to your own troubles or achievements. Over time, people stop opening up because they sense the spotlight will always swing back to you. Psychologically, this habit often comes from a very human fear, the fear of being forgotten. As we age, sharing our stories feels like a way to preserve our identity. But while the intention may be self-preservation, the effect is that others feel unseen. Instead of leaving conversations feeling connected, they walk away feeling unheard and frustrated. Think about how it feels when someone dominates the discussion at a gathering, leaving no room for anyone else. It becomes tiring, doesn't it? You may even avoid sitting near that person next time. That same dynamic can happen in families and friendships. What you see as meaningful sharing, others may quietly perceive as self-centeredness. The surprising truth is this: when you show genuine interest in others, your own stories actually become more welcome. If you first ask questions, listen deeply, and let people shine, they will later be eager to hear about your life in return. Balance is what transforms the way people experience your presence. Instead of being remembered as someone who always talks about themselves, you'll be cherished as someone who makes others feel valued. If you're still watching and finding these lessons meaningful, type number 4 in the comments so I know you're here. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon, so you never miss our future videos. Your support helps us continue creating thoughtful content to inspire and guide you. Reason number 5, clinging to the past. Another reason people sometimes grow distant from older adults is the constant habit of living in the past. Sharing memories is a wonderful gift, it connects generations and keeps history alive. But when every conversation circles back to how things used to be, it can make others feel as though the present is never good enough. Younger generations, in particular, may sense that their world is being dismissed. This can quietly create resentment, even if that was never your intention. This tendency often comes from longing. The past feels safe and familiar, filled with moments of strength, purpose, and vitality. Talking about those days brings comfort and helps keep those experiences alive. Yet when the focus remains only on what was, it unintentionally sends the message that what is, the present, is less meaningful, less valuable, and somehow not worth celebrating. Reason number 5, clinging to the past, continued. Imagine a grandchild proudly sharing their latest accomplishment, only to hear the response, "When I was your age, we worked harder and had it tougher." While that may be true, the child walks away feeling their effort was minimized. Over time, this discourages them from opening up because the joy of sharing is overshadowed by constant comparison. This habit doesn't just affect family, it can affect friendships too. Old friends may grow tired of hearing the same stories repeated again and again, without room for fresh conversations. They may feel stuck in yesterday, when what they truly want is to share what's happening in their lives today. What begins as warm nostalgia can eventually be seen as an unwillingness to grow, adapt, or celebrate the present. But here's the gift you can offer instead: balance. When you reminisce about the past and embrace the present, people feel both connected to your history and welcomed into your now. A story from long ago becomes even richer when it flows into curiosity about today. Asking questions, showing interest, and finding joy in what others are experiencing right now makes people feel valued. When you honor both past and present, others see you not as someone stuck in time, but as someone who treasures every moment life has to offer. Reason number 6, rejecting new ideas. Another major reason people sometimes grow frustrated with older adults is the habit of rejecting new ideas. Whether it's technology, cultural changes, or shifting social values, dismissing everything new as foolish or unnecessary can create a wall between you and the world around you. Family, friends, and neighbors may stop sharing their excitement because they expect it will only be shot down. And while this reaction often comes from feeling overwhelmed, because yes, the pace of today's world can be exhausting, it can still send the wrong message. What others hear is not simply, "I prefer the old ways," but rather, "Your way of living is wrong." That breeds quiet resentment and emotional distance. Think back to a time when you were excited about something, a new book, a hobby, a project, and someone instantly dismissed it as pointless. How did you feel? Deflated? Maybe even a little irritated? That's exactly how children, grandchildren, and younger friends may feel when their ideas are brushed aside. Psychologically, rejecting new ideas often comes from fear of losing control. By dismissing what feels unfamiliar, seniors may feel safer in a rapidly changing world. But ironically, this response leads to more isolation, because people stop including you in their conversations, assuming you won't understand or approve. The shift comes when you practice openness, even in small ways. You don't need to master every gadget or embrace every trend. But showing curiosity, asking, "Can you show me how that works?" or "Tell me why you enjoy this," builds bridges. Instead of feeling criticized, people feel respected. And instead of pulling away, they are drawn closer, eager to share more of their world with you. If you're still with us and finding these lessons meaningful, comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon, so you don't miss our future videos. Your support helps us keep creating content that informs, inspires, and uplifts. Reason number 7, losing patience with others. Finally, one of the most damaging reasons people may begin to resent older adults is the loss of patience. Short tempers, irritability, or snapping over small mistakes can turn simple moments into stressful encounters. What may feel to you like harmless frustration can leave others walking away hurt, or worse, hesitant to spend time with you. This often shows up in family life. A spouse might forget an appointment, and the reaction is sharper than the situation deserves. A grandchild might spill a drink, and instead of gentle correction, they are met with anger. These moments may seem small, but over time they add up. Slowly, people start to associate time with you not with comfort, but with tension. Psychologically, impatience in older adults often stems from feeling powerless. As the body slows down and independence feels more fragile, frustration builds. Life no longer feels as simple or predictable as it once did. Sadly, that frustration sometimes spills out on the very people who are trying to love and support you. Think back to a time when someone lost their patience with you over something small. Did it motivate you to try harder, or did it leave you feeling defeated? Chances are, you remembered the sting long after. The same happens when seniors become quick to anger. People remember the hurt, not the love. The hopeful truth is that patience is a choice, and it can be cultivated. A simple pause before responding, a deep breath, or even laughing off life's little annoyances can completely transform how others experience you. When patience replaces irritation, you become a safe space, someone people want to be around, mistakes and all. And that is what makes relationships last. Final thoughts. When you reflect on these 7 reasons, one thing becomes clear: resentment towards seniors doesn't come from age itself, but from habits. Complaining, criticizing, clinging to the past, or rejecting new ideas may feel natural in the moment, but they quietly push others away. The good news is that none of these patterns are permanent. Every single one can be replaced with habits that draw people closer: gratitude instead of complaining, encouragement instead of criticism, curiosity instead of rejection, patience instead of irritability. These small but powerful shifts don't just change how others see you, they change how you feel about yourself. So, what stood out to you the most today? Do you see any of these patterns in your own life, or in the lives of people you know? By noticing them, you've already taken the first step toward building warmer, stronger, and more lasting connections. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below sharing one thing you learned and how you plan to apply it in your life. Reading your thoughts gives us motivation and encouragement to keep going. And if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating content to inspire, inform, and guide you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.